The creator of Mortal Kombat 1 just revealed something huge for the Kameo fighters. But then on top of that, we have brand new fatalities and some drama at the NetherRealm Studios, it looks like. And finally, to finish off the video, let's clear the air about some Kombat Pack 2 drama that happened in a previous video. Because another day means more Mortal Kombat 1 news. I'm covering it all the time on this channel. So if you want to stay up to date on Mortal Kombat 1 news, then make sure to subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss any future videos. And then after watching, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like down below. It really does help my channel out a ton. And without any further ado, let's begin. Starting off with the big Kameo news. Forget ending with a bang. We're gonna start with a bang in today's video, alright? Because about a week ago, or give or take, we got our first look at Tremor in Mortal Kombat 1 as a new Kameo fighter coming to Kombat Pack 1. And as far as gameplay goes, I didn't see anything crazy at first when it came to Tremor. He seemed like a run-of-the-mill combo extender kind of character. But as mentioned earlier, the creator himself just dropped a bombshell on Twitter. Because check this out, we have confirmation that Tremor can change variations. That's right, he might be a cameo, but he still has multiple variations, which is definitely a reference to how he played in Mortal Kombat X. And real quick, that's what I love about Mortal Kombat 1. Every character from different generations has references to those games with their gameplay in particular. So for example, the 3D era characters have gimmicks carried over from the 3D era, the MK9 characters have gimmicks from MK9, and then you have Tremor who brings gimmicks from Mortal Kombat X. But what does this mean for every other cameo character in the game? I've received several emails and personal DMs from friends asking me, yo, Underdog, does this mean that every cameo character is going to get variations in Mortal Kombat 1? Because we see that Tremor has it, so could this mean that every cameo character is going to get variations as well at some point in the future? And here's my honest response to that question. No, I do not think that every cameo character is going to get variations just like Tremor. Instead, I think Tremor is going to be the only cameo that has variations, at least for now, because once again, that's a reference to Mortal Kombat X, which is the game he was last playable. In fact, I think Mortal Kombat X is the first time that Tremor was ever fully playable in a fighting game of Mortal Kombat. I bet that sentence sounds weird unless you actually know the origins of Tremor. He did not first appear in a fighting game, and when he was playable, it was only in the Challenge Tower, so not technically a fighting game character. And it was also on the PSP or PS Vita, I forget which one. You get my point though, okay? MKX was the first time that Tremor was fully playable, and as a result, it makes sense that his cameo debut references Mortal Kombat X and gives him variations. Really cool stuff. However, that's exactly why I don't think other characters are gonna get variations, just Tremor, at least for now. Maybe at some point there's gonna be other Mortal Kombat X characters as cameos, and if that does happen, it is possible they will have variations too. But here's the million-dollar question that I really want answered, and let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. How far are these variations going to go with Tremor? If I had to guess, I'm guessing it's going to be direction plus cameo button to change variations, and then each variation's only gonna have like 2 attacks. But then again, I'm kind of a pessimist despite this smile. I never thought we'd get a story expansion for Mortal Kombat 11. I was a doubter. Or in other words, my expectations are always set pretty low. That way I'm never disappointed. Maybe that's why I smile, because I'm never disappointed. However, all that being said, it could be possible that Tremor has 5 attacks just like every other cameo, and then when you change variations, he gets 5 brand new attacks. How crazy would that be? Can you imagine if Tremor had 10 different attacks, just double the abilities of every cameo fighter? Once again, I doubt it's gonna happen. My expectations are set super low, plus that would be a bit unfair, wouldn't it? A bit unbalanced if one cameo character had that many abilities. Like mentioned earlier, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Grab that keyboard and make your voices heard. Because no matter what the case may be, I think it's really cool that a cameo character like Tremor has different variations in Mortal Kombat 1. I know there's still some players who don't like cameos in Mortal Kombat 1 and wish they would go away. Me personally, I think cameos are the best part about Mortal Kombat 1. They add so much depth to the game, and I love mix and matching the different cameo characters with different main playable characters. But now it's time for topic number 2. Finally, sorry, that first topic went on for a bit, but for topic number 2, there's a bit of controversy at NetherRealm right now. Nothing too big, alright? Nothing wild, but still fun and interesting enough to talk about. So on Twitter, there was a post made, and then soon after it was taken down and replaced with a different Twitter post. And that's because the original post upset people. A lot of them missed it, myself included. I did not see the original post. Instead, what I saw was a bunch of people memeing about NetherRealm taking down the tweet and then putting a new tweet up and asking, hey, was that first tweet genuine and you're hiding it, or did you go back on that first tweet? So that's the aftermath of the whole situation, okay? That's the fallout. But what actually happened? For the first tweet, NetherRealm announced the new Halloween stage for Johnny Cage's mansion. However, there was a stipulation. It turns out this stage is temporary and it's going to go away at some point. In other words, even though this new stage is completely free and you can play on it to your heart's content, at some point it is going to go away and no longer be available. And from what I heard, this got a lot of people upset. Once again, I never saw the first tweet, I'm just not on Twitter that often, but from what I've heard, people got upset about this. And that's because there's other fighting games that let you keep the stage no matter what for an indefinite amount of time. Street Fighter V is one example. The Christmas stages are still there. The Halloween stages are still there. They're not gone. And other fighting games do this too, not just Street Fighter V, but that's the first example that comes to mind. And this is why a lot of Mortal Kombat fans were upset. Because when you think about it, is there any real reason why the Halloween stages should go away? Why should they be temporary? It just didn't make sense to anybody. For me personally, it's been many years since I was a programmer, so maybe something to do with the PS5 or the storage capacity, maybe they can't afford to keep it in the game forever? I personally don't know. However, that tweet got taken down and then replaced with a similar tweet that is almost completely identical to the original, only they took away the stipulation that the stage would be temporary, and that's why everybody got to talking. Are these new stages going to be temporary or not? Did NetherRealm change their mind and decide to make this stage permanent, or are they simply hiding the fact that it's going to be temporary because it got people upset? Nobody really knows for sure. I hate to keep asking this, but please grab that keyboard and make your voices heard. Do you think the Halloween stages and the holiday stages in general are going to be permanent or temporary? Post your thoughts down below, because now it's time for a surprise third topic, the Halloween Fatality in Mortal Kombat 1. That's right, if you want to fork up the dough or spend some dragon crystals, I forget the currency's name, whatever it is, you can gain access to a universal Halloween Fatality. Every single character in the game can do it. So real quick, in case you haven't seen it, let's have a look at that brand new Halloween themed Fatality. Honestly, overall, this fatality is pretty tame. There's not that much gore. Yeah, the character gets decapitated, but you barely see it. And sure, the idea of a severed head inside of a pumpkin being left at your front door is very morbid, but at the same time, the Halloween decorations on the porch are just so adorable and funny with great references. For me personally, I'd say being covered in bugs and eaten alive from the inside by the bugs would be the worst part about this fatality, but overall, as far as fatalities go, not that gruesome. And then as far as fatalities during the Halloween season go, I'd say it's even less gruesome. It's kind of wholesome in a weird way when it comes to Mortal Kombat standards, right? Okay, but now it's time for the final topic, clearing the air about a Kombat Pack 2 character that caused some controversy in my past video. There was a big misunderstanding in the comments section. However, at the same time, I understand the theories that people had. It does make sense, but I'm here today to debunk those speculations. Real quick, just to catch everybody up, in that video, I presumed that Ghostface is going to be a character in Kombat Pack 2, and that's because in the data files, Omni-Man says this: forget movies, nothing beats a good book. And of course he doesn't say forget, he says a curse word, but on YouTube that's forbidden. And because Ed Boon recently teased that a horror character would be coming to Kombat Pack 2 on Twitter, I speculated that the character Omni-Man was talking to is Ghostface. However, many people in the comments disagreed and said no, that's just Johnny Cage, Underdog is clickbaiting, that's Johnny Cage he's replying to, not Ghostface. And once again, I understand that speculation, but to be completely blunt, you are wrong. Because in the data files, we already have all of Johnny Cage's responses to Omni-Man listed, and none of them mention that movie line. And then on top of that, when Omni-Man says forget movies, there's no response listed, and the character's name responding is not listed either. And that's not true for anybody else on the main roster, including Johnny Cage or anybody else who works with movies, and this is because the Kombat Pack 2 characters have not been added yet to the data files. Or in other words, because Omni-Man is going to be in Kombat Pack 1 and available very soon in November, his files are already there in the game. You can look them up and see his response to every single character in the game, and even his replies to characters who aren't in the game yet. This is why you can see every character's response to Omni-Man's intro if they're already in the game. However, if the characters aren't in the game yet, then you only have Omni-Man's line and not the opponent's line because they're not added yet. And it's for this reason that I speculated Omni-Man is talking to Ghostface, because not only does his response align with Ghostface's Ghostface's meme, right? Do you like scary movies? But then on top of that, the response to Omni-Man is completely hidden, which implies the character is not in the game yet. When you take these two pieces of evidence and add them together, you get a very good incentive to believe that Ghostface is going to be DLC in Kombat Pack 2, which has me excited. However, like I mentioned in that same video, there's also references to Michael Myers and even Jigsaw in those same Omni-Man intro dialogues. Omni-Man says something that alludes to those characters and then gets no response because those characters are in Kombat Pack 2 and therefore not in the game yet. As you all know, I love covering speculation on this channel. I think it's fun to guess and predict which characters are coming to Mortal Kombat 1, and that's what I was doing in that previous video. However, you can all rest assured that I will never be intentionally deceiving you. If those lines did belong to Johnny Cage, then I would have told you that. But that's about it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like down below, and then while you're down there, subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss any future videos. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.